Valorant has been out for a year now, and it is refreshing to play a tactical FPS that is well made and is constantly being updated by their dev team. But that doesn't mean we can't improve it even further. Today, we're going to talk about a few talking points the community has gotten behind with how this game can improve overall. What is going on, ProGuides family? It is your host, Sergeant Frost, and today we are talking about 5 ways Valorant can improve overall as a game. Let's not waste any more time and hop right into it. The first improvement we hope to see for Valorant is an improvement to the gun spray pattern system and the first shot accuracy on most guns in the game. As it stands, one aspect of Valorant's gunplay that has caught flack from the community is how inconsistent the guns feel sometimes in gunfights. That inconsistency players feel is a combination of player error, poor first shot accuracy, and the lack of a set spray pattern on automatic guns. As it stands currently in the game, first shot accuracy and RNG gun recoil are 2 of the most relevant complaints players have with Valorant's gunplay. One of the biggest complaints from high-level players in game, especially from players who have came from the world of Counter-Strike, is that Valorant's spray control is completely RNG and is counterintuitive towards building the skill of muscle memory while using rifles. RNG recoil has not been something veteran FPS players have been a fan of since Valorant launched, and I think the community is justified in their complaints. Simply put, RNG recoil is negative because it renders a key component of tactical FPS gameplay, which is spray control, objectively inconsistent. When certain gunplay options are unpredictable and hard to rely on, it kind of pushes players away from using them, meaning that people can't really spray at all in this game. Rather, we're forced to play a playstyle of small bursts and taps because spray control is considerably worse. Maybe Riot can take a look at this design philosophy again and reconsider someday. But either way, a well-rounded player needs to be proficient at all styles of gunplay to maximize success. So if you struggle with controlling your rifles in game, we always have Immortal and Radiant level coaches on our website ProGuides.com that can help you reach the rank of your dreams. We also have courses done by pros that will give you tips, tricks, and in-depth knowledge of the fundamentals, and how to master different agent roles. If you are interested in learning more, check out our website ProGuides.com today. Now, let's shift the topic a little bit to another form of inconsistent gunplay in Valorant, which is first shot accuracy. First shot accuracy is a big concern in Valorant because it creates a lot of inconsistency when shooting at both moving and non-moving targets. It is no secret that the Vandal is inferior to the Phantom when it comes to tapping, strictly because the Phantom has a better first shot accuracy than the Vandal, despite Vandals being designed to be a one-tapping gun. Guns like the Sheriff and the Vandal need you to hit headshots in order for the gun to be viable. Yet Riot counteracts those guns' biggest strengths of one-shot headshots by making the first shot accuracy less than ideal. It's not uncommon for you to line up a headshot on someone and the bullet just misses them for some reason. This seems to happen a lot more on pistol rounds, where the guns have a higher inaccuracy, and could really mess with how a round turns out due to built-in RNG. And having this type of situation happen multiple times in a match creates a toxic gameplay environment when you can't even trust your own crosshair placement because you don't know if it's you or the game screwing your gameplay over. TAC FPS games are coveted in the gaming community because they have some of the highest skill expression of any game, which also means RNG has much less of a place here. As it stands, random recoil patterns and weak first shot accuracy on guns creates a lot more RNG than we think there should be in Valorant. That's why by changing these, we think Valorant's gunplay system can be greatly improved. Also, please nerf jumping classics. Our next aspect of Valorant that could use some improvement for user experience sake is the Valorant rank system. Riot has made a great deal of efforts to improve the ranking system ever since they tested it out in beta, but they still have a long way to go before it becomes an ideal experience for all players alike. Part of it is a community effort to be nicer to each other and to communicate more, but other parts are design-based and could really help people avoid situations where they become frustrated in the first place. One of the main things the community has been asking for to improve the rank system is to separate solo queue from dynamic queue in ranked. As it stands, there is too much controversy over allowing people to queue stack in the game currently. A lot of players enjoy 5-stacking or playing in premates because it's fun to play with friends, and the experience is generally better when there aren't randoms. However, if you're a solo queue player trying to climb up the ranks, it's devastating because going up against a 3-queue or a 4-queue is demoralizing and disadvantageous. In any case, most people sort of agree that a system should not let stacks play with solos because it hurts competitive integrity and ruins the ranked experience for certain people. If Riot would create a dynamic queue and separate it from a solo queue duo queue mode, then that could solve a lot of issues that this current situation poses. And it would allow for people to reach their coveted ranks without having to deal with a system that supports pre-made parties and smurfing. Another aspect of the rank system that could be improved on is creating more of an incentive to play in a more competitive environment. If Riot could create a Clash Royale mode where players could sign up and be put with a team that would like to compete in in-client tournaments, that would be a phenomenal addition to the rank system as a whole. A tournament mode that is separated by what rank you are in would create a fun competition for everyone, and Riot could throw in prizes such as unique skins or Radiant as well. League of Legends currently has both a Clash Royale mode and a dynamic queue solo queue system in their game. So in hindsight, it shouldn't be hard at all for Riot to implement those modes into the game in the future for a better ranked experience. Before we move on, we have to get to our question of the day. Today's question is, what is a change that you would like to see in Valorant? Personally, I would like for Riot to add a normal store so that I can buy any skin or piece of any bundle I want at any time. Currently, we know Riot is trying to cash in on bundles and packages, and the rotating store rarely gives you the skin you want. But I have hope that over time they will be nicer and open up the skin market in the future. Let us know what aspect of Valorant you want to see changed in the comment section down below. Now, let's get right back into the video. This next improvement is actually an addition to the game client that I personally would love to see, and that is an in-client replay system. As it stands, if you want to watch your gameplay back, you need to either stream it or record it outside of the game. But this poses two issues. First of all, you'll likely have to sacrifice gameplay performance to run the recording software, and second, you can't change perspectives or interact with the replay. A huge part of becoming a better player and learning from your mistakes is watching your game demos back at your own pace, and studying not only your own play, but how it looks to your enemies as well. Other games like CSGO and Call of Duty have both had replay systems built into their games for well over a decade now, and we think Valorant should definitely be able to add a replay system in for players to use as a tool for improvement. A replay system does more than just benefit regular players who want to watch their games back too. Content creators love replay modes because it allows for better content creation, making it so that people like coaches can interact with the game at a higher level, and montages can include more smooth edits and perspective shifts. Famous YouTube series like Halo Red vs. Blue on Machinima were made possible because of a replay system that allowed you to have a free camera and go into third-person perspective. We think that a replay system would definitely be a great addition to Valorant that could make a lot of people's experiences better. The next thing that could be a great improvement to the game is agent bans and map selection, which is something that the devs have said that they might eventually put into the game. It's no question that as the game expands over time and we add more agents and maps, it's going to be much harder to keep up with every agent in the meta and every map. In terms of an agent ban system, once this game adds a few more agents, I think it's time we have a conversation about having a ban phase at the beginning of matches. Just like other games such as League of Legends and Overwatch, it gets harder for the devs to truly balance the game as they continuously add post-launch characters into the game. In the case of Valorant, we know that as time goes on, there might be some agents that get out of line in the meta in terms of power level, and the devs might not handle them as fast as we'd like. So in order to put some power back in the hands of players, an agent ban system would allow us to truly take care of unruly agents that we might want to keep out of the game. Or if your team is willing to strategize and theory craft in the ban phase, you can ban a specific agent that might be very strategic on the map that you are playing. Simply put, an agent ban allows players to balance their games by keeping out potentially overtuned agents, and it allows you to give some of your games depth strategy-wise and take out map-specific agents as well. Off the top of my head, I would really like to see how people learn how to adapt to losing Viper on Breeze, or Sage on Icebox. Now, let's turn the conversation to map select. A majority of the community has been clamoring on social media for Riot to give us some form of map select, and we all know why. Unfortunately in Valorant, maps are not created equal, and some maps are just much more frustrating to play on than others. It's typically unfun to have no say in what map we play in a ranked game, and I don't think it's reasonable to expect every player to understand every map. We suggest maybe adding in a system where each team can vote one map out, and then the map is selected randomly from the remaining pool. This way, we won't run into issues like people one-tricking a certain map, but it gives people options for avoiding certain maps that most people might not enjoy playing on very much, or that they don't understand very well. Lately, it feels like I've been playing Split 24/7 in ranked for some reason, and while I'm not bad at that map, I really want to break from playing the same map over and over and over again. This last improvement is something that we think would greatly improve the game, but is likely never going to happen because of Riot's company philosophy that doesn't seem to support it, and that feature is adding in community servers. If you have played other FPS games like CSGO, Battlefield, or Rainbow Six, you know just how much community servers can liven up a game's community. Different community servers allow players of the game to deepen their interest in the game outside of sweating in ranked or casually messing around in unrated. Some examples of popular community server ideas are custom training maps for aim, pistol-only deathmatches, custom game modes, and B-hopping or KZ maps. Adding in custom servers that players can use to create community maps is something that not only will allow players to create for the Valorant community, but also to let players pursue different interests in game. However, custom servers are something that Riot hasn't implemented in their games in the past, but I think we really need to have a conversation about adding them, because it really could build Valorant's community and help them in so many ways. Well, that's all we have for 5 improvements and additions to Valorant that should be added into the game. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe to keep up to date with the latest Valorant news, updates, and guides. Also, make sure to check out our website for truly amazing on-demand coaching. This has been your host, Sergeant Frost, and I will see you all again in the next one.